Balaam and the donkey. The sun rose over the hills of Moab, painting the sky with shades of gold and crimson. The land was buzzing with tension, for the people of Israel had encamped nearby after their long journey through the wilderness. News of their victories against neighboring nations had spread quickly, and the hearts of the Moabites trembled at the thought of this multitude. Balak, king of Moab, paced in his palace, troubled and restless. He had seen with his own eyes the growing power of Israel. Every battle they fought seemed to end in their favor, for the God who led them was unlike any other. Balak knew he could not overcome them by strength alone, so he sought another way. He called for messengers, men of high rank, and gave them an urgent mission. "Go to Balaam, son of Beor," Balak commanded. "He is a man known for his blessings and his curses. Whomever he blesses is blessed, and whomever he curses is cursed. Tell him that a people has come out of Egypt, too numerous for me to fight. Ask him to come and put a curse upon them, so that I may defeat them and drive them away." The messengers departed, traveling swiftly across the land until they reached the home of Balaam. The prophet was well known among the nations, a man with a reputation for spiritual power. When the envoys arrived, they presented Balak's request, offering rewards of divination and promises of honor if Balaam would agree. Balaam listened carefully, but did not give them an immediate answer. "Spend the night here," he said, "and I will bring back word to you as the Lord speaks to me." That night, God came to Balaam and asked, "Who are these men with you?" Balaam explained their purpose, but the Lord's response was clear. "You shall not go with them. You shall not curse the people, for they are blessed." In the morning, Balaam dismissed the messengers. "Return to your land," he told them. "The Lord has refused to let me go with you." The officials returned to Balak with the disappointing news, but the king was not ready to give up. He sent more princes, more distinguished and powerful than the first, carrying greater promises of reward. When they reached Balaam, they pleaded again, "Let nothing hinder you from coming to Balak. He will honor you greatly, and whatever you say, he will do. Come, curse this people for him." Balaam replied cautiously, "Even if Balak were to give me his house full of silver and gold, I could not go beyond the command of the Lord my God. Yet remain here tonight, and I will see what more the Lord may say to me." That night, God came to Balaam again. This time he said, "If the men come to call you, rise and go with them. But only the word that I speak to you, that you shall do." With this permission, Balaam rose early the next morning, saddled his donkey, and went with the princes of Moab. Yet God's anger was kindled because Balaam's heart leaned toward greed and ambition. Though he had been given permission to go, his desire for reward clouded his obedience. And so the angel of the Lord stood in the road to oppose him as an adversary. Balaam rode upon his donkey, accompanied by 2 servants. As they traveled along the path, the donkey suddenly saw what Balaam could not: the angel of the Lord standing in the way, sword drawn in hand. Terrified, the animal turned aside into a field. Balaam, blind to the danger, struck the donkey to force her back onto the road. They continued, but soon they came to a narrow path through the vineyards, with walls on either side. Again the donkey saw the angel and pressed herself against the wall, crushing Balaam's foot. Enraged, Balaam struck her once more. Further along, they reached a narrow place where there was no room to turn to the right or to the left. The donkey saw the angel once again, standing directly before them, with sword raised. With nowhere else to go, the donkey lay down under Balaam. Fury consumed the prophet, and he struck the animal with his staff. Then the Lord opened the donkey's mouth, and she spoke with a voice that startled Balaam. "What have I done to you, that you have struck me these 3 times?" Balaam, in his anger, answered without hesitation, as if it were not strange for his animal to speak. "You have made a fool of me. If I had a sword in my hand, I would kill you right now." The donkey replied, "Am I not your donkey, upon which you have ridden all your life to this very day?" Have I ever been in the habit of doing this to you?" Balaam paused and admitted, "No." Then the Lord opened Balaam's eyes, and he saw what his donkey had seen all along. There stood the angel of the Lord, sword drawn, blocking the path. Balaam fell on his face before the angel in fear and reverence. The angel spoke with authority. "Why have you struck your donkey these 3 times? Behold, I have come out to oppose you because your way is perverse before me." The donkey saw me and turned aside. If she had not turned, I would surely have killed you and let her live. Shaken, Balaam confessed, "I have sinned. I did not know you stood in the road against me. Now, if it displeases you, I will turn back." But the angel replied, "Go with the men, but only the word that I speak to you shall you speak." So Balaam continued on his journey, humbled by the revelation and the rebuke from his own donkey. When he finally arrived before Balak, the king hurried to meet him, eager for the prophet's help. "Did I not send urgently to call you? Why did you not come sooner? Am I not able to honor you?" Balak asked. Balaam answered with sober honesty, "Behold, I have come to you now, but I have no power of my own. The word that God puts in my mouth, that I must speak." Balak accepted this, though his heart still hoped for a curse upon Israel. They went together to high places where sacrifices were offered, and from where Balaam could see the camp of Israel spread out in the valley below. Balak waited anxiously for the curse he longed to hear. But when Balaam opened his mouth, blessings flowed instead. He declared the goodness of God toward his people and spoke words of prosperity and strength for Israel. Balak was furious. "What have you done to me? I brought you to curse my enemies, and behold, you have blessed them instead." Yet Balaam reminded him, "Must I not take heed to speak what the Lord puts into my mouth?" Time and again Balak tried, moving Balaam to different vantage points, hoping for a different outcome. But each time the Spirit of God came upon Balaam, and his words turned into blessings over Israel. The king's anger grew hotter with each attempt, until finally he could bear it no longer. "I called you to curse my enemies, and instead you have blessed them these 3 times. Flee to your place. I said I would greatly honor you, but the Lord has kept you back from honor." Balaam stood firm. "Did I not tell your messengers that even if you gave me your house full of silver and gold, I could not go beyond the command of the Lord? What the Lord says, that is what I must do." Before he departed, Balaam lifted his eyes toward Israel once more. From his lips came some of the most profound prophecies recorded, words that looked far beyond the present moment. He spoke of a star that would rise out of Jacob, a scepter that would come out of Israel, one who would crush the enemies of God. Though Balaam himself walked a path of compromise later, his words pointed to the coming of the Messiah. The story of Balaam and his donkey remained a powerful reminder for generations. It taught that no one can curse whom God has blessed, that greed and ambition blind the heart, and that even a humble donkey can be God's instrument to bring correction. It revealed that God's purposes cannot be overturned, and his blessings rest upon his people despite the schemes of men. In the wilderness, the children of Israel continued their journey, unaware of the attempts to curse them. While they camped, ate, and traveled, God was at work, turning curses into blessings, proving once again his faithfulness. The unseen battles fought in the spirit world were won not by human power, but by the word of the Almighty. Balaam's encounter with his donkey remained a symbol of God's patience and his ability to use the unexpected to humble the proud. The prophet had been shown that even though he claimed spiritual sight, he was blind to the presence of the angel, while his lowly animal saw clearly. Through this, God demonstrated that true vision comes not from human wisdom, but from divine revelation. Generations later, the story would be told and retold, reminding listeners that disobedience leads to danger, but humility leads to life. The donkey's voice echoed as a witness through time, declaring that God will not be mocked and his word will prevail.